my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. Lizzie the Lightworker here. Welcome. Today we're working on a Sagittarius video for inner child healing. Now, if you guys have been watching, in the past I've done these turn out really, really well. Inner child healing is something that a lot of us need to do. Almost everybody walking around on this earth has some issue from childhood. So we're going to talk about today, how does your inner child feel? What you lacked as a child, something that left your inner child scared or scarred, how it feels and how it affects your life now, something you can do to heal, and how you can support your inner child, and also, to wrap up, a message from your inner child directly. So if you'd like to hear all these messages, stick around and let's get right into it. Inner child healing for Sagittarius. How your inner child feels. Choose your battles. So I feel like in childhood, you may have had a lot of argumentative people around you. It may have taught you that it's okay to be this way and it's okay to flip out and scream and lose it. And I say that because as an Aries and in that fire sign energy, it's kind of like we can't have our buttons pushed, okay? You push our buttons too much, we're going to lash out. We're going to want to beat the shit out of you. And I'm laughing because there is humor in everything, guys. It's just that we have to learn to temper ourselves at times. So it could be that, either it's one way or the other. It's either that you're aggressive because of it or you're passive aggressive because of it, where you tend to shut your mouth, you button your lip, you don't process things, you're afraid of confrontation. Okay. It could be either way. So however resonates with you is perfectly fine. It's what spirit wants you to hear. So in your everyday life now, in your relationships, you may have some issues with arguments and fighting and arguing might scare you. It might make you nervous. It might make you upset. It might make you feel like the person is going to leave or get away from you or not want to see you anymore. It could make you feel overly defensive, where you want to protect yourself and you're lashing out and you want people to just shut up and leave you alone. It could be that you have this need to always be right. Or it could be that you were never heard. There's a big thing about that. That was for me and my family. I never could get a word in edgewise, and it made me nuts. It was always like the bigger, boisterous, more energies were going over me, and I would have to yell to get my opinion out or part of the story out. So very, very upsetting, very, very maddening. It definitely makes you have a bad temper later on in life, because you do feel slighted. So there's inward anger or outward anger. So it's up to you to decide what one sort of sits better with you, what one fits here, what one makes more sense, okay? So yeah, choosing your battles. Your inner child might want you to do this. Learn how to do this, because, not standing up for yourself is not good, and standing up for yourself too much is not good either. So I feel like there's something about balance and trying to find the balance about when it's right to fight and when it's right to sort of let silence, take the front seat. Okay, so what did you lack as a child? Open up. So it could be that you never learned or were never taught or never nurtured to open up your true self, your true feelings, to let love in, to let people in, to not be fearful of connections. It could be that you grew up in a household that you didn't talk about your feelings. It was a no-no. If you could have grown up in a house that didn't show affection. You may have not had very affectionate parents or a parent or caregivers. Or like I said, parents that were not willing to listen. Maybe they thought that their feelings were more important than yours, especially if you're a child. Children should be seen and not heard. That's a very outdated, terrible, terrible expression, but some people in that older energy, that's how they feel. So it could be that. It could have made you feel now like, you're not valued, you're not validated. Anything you say, you might not even put effort. You might not even care to put effort. Or it could be that you're so sheltered, you have such a guard up that no one's getting through that thing. No one's getting through that thing. So this is like, I don't know, I feel like you need to sort of open up a bit, let light in, let love into your heart. Definitely have patience with this. Don't feel like you need to rush it in any way. And I feel like if you're in a relationship or your relationships around you, you might need to speak up a bit, or simply say something like, I never was easy to open up with people, so please have patience with me, okay? Because people won't stick around unless you're communicating well. People don't want to stick around for that. So, I feel like definitely let some of that out, like some of those feelings out, okay? Like if you felt very repressed, that's what this is saying. So that could have been a little bit of what you lacked. I do feel like it's a parental thing, like you weren't groomed or taught to express yourself in a healthy way or a good way, or you just felt like maybe nobody was listening to you or nobody cared. So that could definitely affect you in your daily life now. Something that left your inner child scarred or scared. What is something that left your inner child scarred or scared? So, the inability to detach. It could be that you grew up with parents or in a household that was emotionally detached. That's the theme here. I feel like there's definitely stuff with arguing and emotions and letting things go and letting things in. So, it could be that as an adult, it's very hard for you to attach yourself to an energy. Like in a love relationship, you might always be partially detached. You might always feel like you just can't get over that hump to give that person all of your heart. You might feel like you need to keep some of it for yourself or protect it. Based on the way you were treated or the way you were raised. It could be that in school you had, kids around you that were not the best energies, or maybe you were bullied a bit, or you always tried to be the best and nobody ever really cared or noticed your efforts. So it would make you detached. To me, it feels like you might have detached feelings or detached relationships with people in your family. And now as you are an adult. So that is something that could have left a deep scar. When you're taught or you're around people, it's like monkey see, monkey do. If everybody around you was emotionally detached and never showed you how to put emotion into caring and love, you wouldn't know how to do that now, even if you fake it, even if you front it, because I feel like that is something that you do as a mechanism for coping. It also has to do with how you cope with death, how you cope with loss. It could be that you don't shed a tear, or you're crying your eyes out in private. Either way, it has to do with what's inside, the emotions. If you feel empty, you could feel a bit empty inside, or feel like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I connect well with people? Or why can't I give someone my all? So it all stems back to childhood. And there's no shame in, talking about that or getting some help for that, or doing some self-help videos or some self-help reading or anything like that to try to have you help yourself release some of this. Okay, so how does it affect your life now? How does it affect your life now? So I feel like it blocks you from fully pursuing your dreams, and it blocks you from sort of preconceived notions you have about achievement. Okay, so I feel like because you're feeling like maybe you can't put your best effort forward, if you have all this shit from the past kind of dragging you down or bogging down your energy, I feel like the best way is to assess what you want to do and take small steps towards it, so you don't overshoot anything and you don't sort of feed that inner voice that you have that always is telling you there's going to be a disappointment, or why even bother, or it's always the worst. Okay, I feel like sometimes you think it's always going to be the worst. It always is the worst. There could be a little bit of that negative thinking, only because of the way your childhood was and the way that you were raised and the way that you developed. And some of these coping mechanisms you developed out of necessity. So I feel like in a way that it blocks you, sort of the now, like I said, it blocks you from your dreams like coming true and sort of pursuing what you really want in life, and sort of being brave and giving it your all, and versus not trying, out of fear of disappointment or rejection. So I feel like sometimes there are times like you're afraid to go after what you really want, but you'll dream about it, and you might even have all the signs pointing to you to do this one thing or to try this one thing or whatever it is with work or relationships. And there's always that little voice in the back of your head that's like, no, don't even bother. So there's a little bit of that and a little bit of that negativity thinking that comes with a detached, attitude. So yeah, definitely something to think about and something to sort of maybe start to groom yourself in a different way to realize that, you know, you have this unlimited power and you are a being of the light and you are strong and you have so many beautiful talents that you have to sort of access those and put them into a nice little bundle and use that every time that stupid voice tries to tell you you're no good. Battle it, bash it, smash it to smithereens, because you are beautiful and you are good. Okay? You may need to hear that today. If you're finding this video and you're sad or you're kind of like, what's going on, or what do I need to do? Just know you are loved, you are wanted, you are beautiful. Beautiful. Believe it. So something you can do to heal. What is something that you can do to heal? Let love in. Love will heal you, okay? If you only let it in. If you decide that you really want a caring connection with someone and you want a partnership, or you're in one, okay? And you're having issues in your relationship, could be because of the inner child stuff. Let love in. Be full with your partner. Allow the love to go between the two of you. Like, in other words, feel it. Let it flow between the two of you. Love heals almost anything, okay? Love. When we are scared, when we are fearful, you know, you might know anybody in your life, they just lost a job, they're battling cancer, all these terrible things happen in life, but love helps us heal. One person caring makes all the difference. So all your caring connections, hold on to those. Really start to express your love more, and definitely open up your heart chakra. Ask your heart chakra to be cleared by the angels and help that universal flow go back and forth between you and a partner, you and a loved one, you and a child, your sister, your brother, whoever's in your life that is lovingly supportive of you. Be in that energy with them, okay? Because that will help you heal. Knowing that people love and care for you is a big deal. It will help you heal. It will want to make you heal, okay? So how can you support your inner child? What's something you can do to support your inner child? Rebuild. So after we've discussed all these things, and this may or may not thrust you into wanting to heal or learn, or, you know, it might not. You might be like, you know what, this is bullshit. These are just average messages. No, not really. If you're finding this video, it's meant for you. It's definitely meant for you. So if it comes across in your feed, or, you know, you see as a recommended video for you and you decide to click on it and you've come to this point with me, you needed to hear these messages, okay? And you are blessed, and you will be further blessed as long as you're willing to put a little bit of that work in, and it doesn't have to be an overnight thing. So yeah, rebuilding your foundations, rebuilding your belief systems, rebuilding your thoughts, letting go of the past, of the way you were raised and how you were taught, because you must know now that that's not right. That's not serving you. It's not helping you. So starting to break out of those patterns and behaviors and groomings that were done to you, and rebuild. And once you started to heal these things, you will come to a point where you're different, and you feel different, and you want to be different, and you want to keep growing, and you want to keep attacking the negative things inside of you, and you want to slay them, and you want to smash them to smithereens and heal. That's what this is all about. Healing, rebuilding your life on better foundations, clearer foundations, thoughts and patterns that are going to progress you further in life. So what is a message from your inner child? What is something that your inner child needs you to know? And I'm using Healing Yourself cards. Letting go. So your inner child wants you to know, let go of these things from the past. The past is the past. The past is behind you. Yes, however you were raised does make a huge difference in who you are. But take it for what it is, and almost to start a new phase of life. This is what your inner child wants you to do, is to let go of the past, let go of anything that's trying to pull you back or trying to stay in your mind, negative or dark or sad or dreary or dreadful, or this always thinking bad shit's gonna happen. They want you to let that go. Spirit wants you to let that go. Your inner child wants you to let that go and accept it. And it's okay. Even if you have to sit and cry for 20 minutes or 2 hours, or you have to be angry and hate yourself for a moment, or be mad at your parents, or be mad at whoever raised you. And, you know, all of that will come as you start to heal things. You will feel certain ways, and that will have to do a lot with ego. But as long as you're able to accept the fact that things have happened that were negative or not ideal for you, that is part of letting go. Acceptance is the first part. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm sorry if there's a brief like blip in the video. It's because I had to re-upload part of this. But I love you guys so much. And just know you're loved. You're beautiful. You can do this. You can do anything. You're a being of light. You can do anything. Love and light. See you guys in the next reading.